If you want to know more about a breech-loaded, lever-actuated, single-shot, falling block, cartridge-fired rifle, then you've clicked on the right video. It's time for a deep dive into the historical development and use of the Martini-Henry as seen in Battlefield 1. This video is not intended to be a guide or montage, but a quick look into the history behind this beautiful weapon. Maybe I'm just weird like that, but I remain fascinated by the history of the weapons, vehicles, and maps of Battlefield 1. So any chance I get to research these things and make a video on them is actually really fun for me. So sit back and enjoy some more good old-fashioned edutainment. Let's take a look. The Martini-Henry rifle was designed, built, and used by the British Empire going all the way back to 1871, and was in use after that in various conflicts for up to 47 years, which speaks to the high quality of its design. It replaced the Snyder Enfield rifle, which while still used afterwards, was a muzzle-loading rifle that was converted to cartridge, as opposed to the superior design of the Martini-Henry, which was developed from the ground up to use cartridges. The cartridge itself, while initially brass foil that was paper-wrapped and weighed a huge 485 grains, which would put a hole in just about anything you hit, was modified, converted, and changed many times throughout the life cycle of this gun and during its service in World War I. Needless to say, whatever cartridge was used, given the design of the weapon, it did some serious damage. The Martini-Henry even had shotgun and harpoon designed variants, with the harpoon version even being showcased in the movie Jaws. The name itself comes from the rifle using the polygonal rifling designed by Alexander Henry, and the dropping block style action refined by Swiss designer Friedrich von Martini. This is actually a pretty common way to name guns, but I always wondered how they decided who got first billing. Or maybe Henry Martini just didn't sound as good. By the time the Great War or World War I rolled around, the Martini-Henry had been phased out in some ways. However, it still saw lots of action during the war. The Ottomans used a bunch of them, and it saw use in African theaters as well by native auxiliary troops. One interesting use early in the war was by British aircrew, who were given the rifles with newly developed incendiary ammunition to shoot at enemy observation balloons and aircraft. Also, being one of these balloons is probably one of the most terrifying things I can imagine. In Battlefield 1, the Martini-Henry is of course assigned to the Scout class as a long-range rifle and comes in two variants. The infantry is the base rifle with iron sights and can be fitted with a bayonet, which is historically accurate as the first models of the Martini-Henry could be affixed with a socket-type spike-style bayonet. However, what is not accurate is the bayonet in-game appears to be the German sawback blade bayonet, which wasn't used by Allied forces at all and was actually heavily propagandized against as a barbaric and evil design. As a result, the sawback was actually removed from service by 1917. The other variant is the sniper and features a telescopic scope and a bipod, which definitely wasn't widely used. But this variant actually has been featured in a film in Sherlock Holmes' Game of Shadows, although it's been heavily modified. As bolt and magazine-fed weapons became more commonly used, the Martini-Henry was phased out as expected. However, shockingly, it was used in conflicts as late as the 1970s by Afghan tribesmen during the Soviet-Afghan War. It's also been used as a big game and hunting rifle and other sport shooting activities over the years. And even as recently as 2010 and 11, US Marines recovered 3 Martini-Henrys from Taliban weapon caches. The Martini-Henry is a fascinating weapon with a storied history, and being able to use this rifle in a game like Battlefield is just awesome. It definitely helps that it's also one of the most satisfying and fun guns to use in the entire game as well, with some incredible sound design that communicates the power of this rifle. I really hope you found this video entertaining or informative, as I had a lot of fun in making it, and if you did, let me know by leaving a like and subscribing for more Battlefield content, and if you want to see a specific weapon or vehicle or even map featured in this type of historical video, let me know in the comments below. That's it for me, until next time.